Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Locker Room Talk Uncut. Drew Garrison, Chad Penrod in the locker room on Thanksgiving morning for the Thanksgiving special. Talking about the latest in sports, previewing the games today, and I'm already thinking about all the fucking food I'm going to eat.
You're going to eat a lot of food. I heard you before we came on. You said something about a warm-up plate. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I have a warm-up plate on Thanksgiving. See,
is that like fucking cheese ball or something? Or
No. It's full food. But see, you know, my parents are divorced, so I've got two families to go to there.
Aww.
My girlfriend has split families, so we've got three places to go today. Thankfully, the mask mandate was lifted at one of them.
Because I wasn't
going to go to that. I just found that out last night. So yeah, I got a lot to do, man. The sweet potatoes with the marshmallows on top. That's where I usually start. So
okay. You get a whole plate full of that?
I get a plate full of everything.
Oh, okay. You're saying you eat two plates.
It's portion control. Well, sometimes I do.
It's portion control, but you're eating two plates.
Yeah.
Oh.
It just kind of depends.
Dude, I'm one of my favorite ones is the stuffing, man. There's something about stuffing, but it's got to be like that stovetop, shit in the red box. That's, some people have like, what is it? What is the other stuffing called? Where it's just kind of like, it almost looks like croutons or some shit. And I'm not into that stuffing.
Yeah, that's fake stuffing.
Yeah, to me that's fake.
That's not good. So in the world of sports, what do you want to talk about, man? What are we going to get into first here before we go just
Dude, listen, we got to jump into this. It's been a couple of days past it. A lot of people suggested we get in here on Monday and get a day after reaction, but, you needed to calm down, so we got to talk about it. We got to talk about your man, Joe Burrow, out for the season, tore his MCL, tore his ACL, and a lot more shit in his knee. I'm going to let you get there in a second, but I just want to say this. Were we right or were we right? We said that this was just a matter of time. We never wanted to see Joe Burrow get hurt. I don't want to see anyone get hurt, but we knew Joe Burrow was going to get hurt. We didn't know to what extent. We didn't know how bad it would be. We didn't know if it'd be he'd miss a week, he'd miss the rest of the year. We had no idea, but the man is out for the season. And we were right. This was always a when is it going to happen instead of if it will happen. So
yeah, it's not a shock, not surprising at all.
Who do you blame for this?
I laughed. Like when it happened, I just laughed.
You laughed at Joe Burrow going down.
I didn't laugh at Joe Burrow going down. It's just like this is just what it is, dude. It's just like I just don't fucking care anymore. We knew it was going to happen. We knew that. He's been hit 72 times.
Right.
We knew he was going to get hurt. I guess maybe I never thought it would be this bad. Maybe I never thought. I didn't think it would be a season ender. Maybe, but and the play itself isn't really like the offensive lineman had his block. He kind of blocked one guy into him. The other guy hit him low. He got the high low. But it's not about the one play. People keep saying, I've been seeing people saying, that play the line did this.
That play can happen to anybody.
But the problem with it is, and I've looked into this a lot, I have enough evidence to pursue criminal charges against Zach Taylor.
Absolutely, and I agree 100% with you.
So it was beginning of the third quarter. Let's call it 9.5 games. Okay. No rookie minicamp. No OTAs. A shortened training camp. No preseason, a bad offensive line, and a rookie quarterback. Those 6 things. Let's take those 6 things into account, and then think about the time that Joe Burrow dropped back to pass 404 times.
And on top of drop back to pass, if our calculations are right, there was over 11 minutes left in the third quarter when Joe Burrow got hurt.
And they were winning.
And he had already thrown the ball
34
times. He was on pace for another 60-yard passing or 60 throws, 60 attempts.
Against the fucking Redskins.
Against the Redskins.
No, the Washington football team. I'm sorry.
Whatever.
Our
bad.
They were winning.
Oakland Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, who gives a fuck?
I said Oakland on here a couple weeks ago, and I just went with it. But, they're winning. It's 3rd and 2 inside their own 15, if I remember correctly. And yeah, there was just no semblance of a running game, no threat of a running game. 34 times. I think it was 29 in the first half. I think he threw it a few times on that drive, and there were some penalties and whatnot. And funny enough, man, Pac-Man Jones loves to talk about the Bengals on his Instagram story. It's fucking hilarious. But I was watching it last night, and he was saying this. He said, "So I got an idea." He said, "AJ, shut it down. Gino, shut it down. Jesse Bates, shut it down." He said, "Anybody that's good, shut it down. These coaches are fucking clueless." I'm like, well, I kind of agree with you. They're fucking terrible. He said, "So I want Zach Taylor to go out there and do 5-5-step drops behind that offensive line." He said, "You're going to put Joe out there like that? You go do it. You played quarterback in Nebraska." He said, "You go out there, you take 5-5-step drops behind that line and see how the fuck you like it." I said, "Damn, that's a good idea." I'm trying to get him on the podcast. We talked a couple days ago. But yeah, man, it's Brandon Allen getting the start Sunday. I'm going.
Here's my thing with that. Brandon Allen could potentially beat a bad team and do nothing but hurt the Bengals more.
Yeah, because right now
you don't win.
Don't
win.
They're locked in right now. I would think for Penei Sewell, who everybody has said is
going to be
one of the best left tackle prospects they've seen in years.
Right.
Colin Cowherd said he's a Anthony Munoz, Jonathan Ogden type guy.
Right.
So, and Cowherd said this too. The Bengals are it's terrible news, but if they pick at 3, they get Penei Sewell. They put him that's the stalwart left tackle. You kick Jonah Williams to the right. You send Bobby Hart to fucking Sweden.
Absolutely.
And then he said, "You know what? You're picking 3rd in the second round too. You know who's probably going to be there in the second round? Wyatt Davis. You need a guard." Mm-hmm. He said you could really go round 1, round 2, and have a lot of your offensive line
I would
fixed.
disagree a little bit. I think Spain has played really good.
Yeah, but you need 2 guards.
Yeah, but then you have Finney. You could always put Finney there unless you just want him as that.
He can't get off the
always
goddamn
6
COVID
man
list. I'd take Wyatt Davis over B.J. Finney. He's young.
You just never know. You just never know. Almost like we thought, not necessarily you, but a lot of people thought coming out Billy Price would be good. Whether guard, center, wherever he was, just because of how well he played. You just never
Josh
know.
Myers.
Hey, Josh is going to be a tank. But anyway, I think that this Joe Burrow injury is all on Zach Taylor.
Well, yeah, for sure.
There's no other way to put it. And then it sucks, man, because for as much damage as he did to his knee, there is a possibility that he misses all of next season.
I've seen 9 to 12 months, and then I've seen some other.
Well, 12 months puts you to where we are now, and that's damn near with the season over.
Yeah, that'd be around Thanksgiving next year.
And then
why bring him back at that point?
Right? Why bring him back at that point? You might as well let it heal for the rest of the year and get that thing 120%.
That's why we're gonna get Fitzmagic back.
It's just I don't know. This is just another knock on Zach Taylor's resume, and unfortunately, it happens to Joe Burrow. If you guys are day one listeners of Locker Room Talk Uncut, Drew and I both sat right here and we said, "Don't Tim Couch Joe Burrow." Yeah. We said it because I'm a Browns fan. Obviously, we know what happened to Tim Couch. Drew knew. I mean, we repeated episode after episode, do not Tim Couch Joe Burrow. And what'd they do? They got fucking Joe Burrow hurt. Now, that play, that can happen to anybody.
But you put him in harm's way so many times, something's going to happen.
It's like this. And we always do this because we're Browns Bengals fans. You compare him to a Baker Mayfield because Baker Mayfield won't get an injury like that because he's only throwing the ball 25 times a game. They've got to find help. Even if the run isn't working. Like, if you watched the Browns versus the Eagles last week, the Browns couldn't run the ball for 3 quarters. And then the fourth quarter, there's like 200 fucking running yards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't abandon the run because it's not working, because it keeps the defense honest, So where's the rollouts for Joe Burrow? Where's the play action? Even if you can't run the ball, then you got to make them think you're going to run the ball and get Joe Burrow out of the pocket to where he can avoid an injury like that, to where he can make a play with his legs, and he's got a big time arm and he's accurate. And Zach Taylor just didn't show anything.
You go into that game at 2-6-1, you're not doing anything anyway.
Well, and then the problem is this: at 2-6-1, you just drafted another quarterback that you gave up 3 picks for, and Ryan Finley, and you're not even going to give him a start. You went and got Brandon Allen off the practice squad. Why in the fuck was Ryan Finley even your backup quarterback to start with if you're not going to play him?
Well, I understand why they're not going to play him. Did you see him try to throw a football when he came in that game?
But still, why is he your backup quarterback if you're not even going to play him?
We said that going into the season. We said they need to get a veteran to back up Joe Burrow. If anything else, just to teach him shit.
Yeah.
Like a Fitzmagic might do.
Or I kept saying, dude, go get Josh McCown.
Yeah, Josh McCown or Drew Stanton or one of those guys. Not only just to help mentor Burrow, but to be there in case the fucker goes down. Because, yeah, dude, Ryan Finley sucks so bad. Dude,
But you want him to play right now. You don't want to win.
No, I don't.
Like I know you're going to the game Sunday. Dude, you get to watch Brandon Allen versus Danny Dimes, dude.
Look, man.
That's going to be miserable.
I bought these tickets because my girlfriend has always kind of been a Giants fan. She's always wanted to see him play.
Right.
It was cheap. They were like $40. I was like, cool, we'll go. I'll watch Burrow play. It'll be all right.
Right.
Win, lose, whatever. And I'm like, hey, social distancing, all that shit. It might be kind of cool to watch a game without 100 people right on top of you, but now I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm going to go down there. It's probably going to be cold. Oh, I'm going to watch fucking
You have to wear a mask the whole time?
No, I'm not wearing a mask the whole time. I'm taking that bitch off at my seat. But if it's cold, the mask might not be bad. But, yeah, it's just – you got to think about it this way, man. You're going to that game 2-6-1. You want Burrow to develop. That's fine. Develop him on the fucking practice field. Game reps are – I understand that you can't beat game reps, but – your year's shot anyway. I mean, going into that game against Washington, did anybody think the Bengals were going to make the playoffs? No. So why?
No, but that was a measuring stick for the Bengals right there. That was the one game where you feel like, all right, those look like two teams that are about right where they.
Well, I don't feel like I feel like maybe if Burrow played the whole game, it would have been. After that, I mean, after he went out, dude, it was over.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then Taylor said, "Did you feel a shift in energy of the team after Burrow went down?" And he said, "No." Dude, I was watching that shit from my couch, and I felt it.
Oh yeah, the players that do the very next drive, Washington scored.
Yeah, of course they felt it, dude. Because as young as he is, man, guys rallied around him.
Hell yeah,
he was named a captain.
He was their leader.
He was voted a captain by the team. Before even taking a snap. So yeah, he definitely did. And then now it's always like this. Shit gets bad. It's bad. Your franchise quarterback just tore his knee up. It's bad.
Now it's going to get worse.
Now it's getting worse already because did you read the Sports Illustrated article about the Bengals' just terrible fucking culture that they have going on now? Yeah. And players are saying things off the record without their name because they don't want to lose playing time and shit like that. I guess Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator, is unapproachable from what this story said. This is a James Rapin article from SI, and he said that Lou frequently calls players dumb motherfuckers and dumb bitches. He rips people a new ass for making a mistake, while other guys that are his guys, he just kind of lets it slide. They've said one person said that the culture was like a college locker room, and the other person said it's worse than that. They said that an unnamed player told them that when Taylor gave his post-game speech after Washington about how they're going to rally and go behind each other and all this shit that he always says, he said that the players were just kind of laughing and smirking at each other, saying we saw right through it.
Right.
He's lost it.
Yeah, he's already year 2.
Good.
Yeah, this is what they need. He's got to go.
I want it to get worse.
Yeah, I thought after year 1, and you know me, I've fucking been with this since year 1. When you lose so many close games like that, that tells me that you're just not good.
Well, I was willing to give him somewhat of a pass for his first
as a
year.
Bengals fan, you had to, but I instantly knew. I had seen enough fucking coaches and quarterbacks come through Cleveland, and
I got experience. I had 16 years of the same guy.
Right.
So
I just knew. I was like, this dude is in over his head. I fell off on on Zach Taylor when he threw the biggest hissy fit. When I forget what game it was. When
the Bills.
When the
Dalton
Bills
threw
player,
a pick.
Yeah, and then the Bills secondary person slid to give himself up, but he dropped the ball. But he slid because he was giving himself up.
No, he ran out of the back of the end zone, and Taylor wanted a safety.
Yeah,
but he clearly gave himself
Taylor
up.
threw his headset down, and he had a fucking bitch fit. And I said, this guy's in over his head. I said, this guy's terrible. Not only that, what is he, 13 and 1 in one possession games? Like, that comes down to coaching. This just isn't the coach. He's terrible. He's pathetic. He's got to go. Hopefully for your sake, you got a new coach coming in after this year. Hopefully for your sake, you lose the rest of these games. You don't want to win these games. That's why. But you got to understand too, from Zach Taylor's point of view,
he's gonna try to save his job.
He's trying to save his job. He knew Ryan Finley wasn't going to win him another game this season. Brandon Allen is capable of winning a game against. You're going to play the Jets still. You're going to play. You're going to play the Giants. So you're going to play Dallas. There are some bad teams left on the schedule that they could just totally fuck this up because say the Bengals in this season picking 10th or 11th. They've totally fucked this. They've totally fucked it up.
I can't see them doing that, dude. Andy Dalton's going to come to Cincinnati and have the game of his life.
I don't know.
He's going to light them up.
The defense is still solid in my opinion.
Which is weird because apparently everybody fucking hates Lou Anarumo. I guess the players are just playing well, but you got to. I expect Zach Taylor to be back next year,
which is shitty, man.
Yeah, but I expect it.
Yeah, I low key from a Browns fan from a Browns fan standpoint, I hope to God he is. But from your friend's standpoint, I hope for you guys that the misery is over because he's fucking terrible.
He is, but something tells me he'll be back next year. He needs to get the fuck out, but I have a feeling they're going to keep him. So, in that dude. This whole thing needs blown up. The head coach down to the fucking water boy and the ball boy. I want them all gone. They all need to fucking leave. But I don't feel like Taylor is. I feel like they may say, hey, you have to get some new coordinators. Dude, Jim Turner was like a sexist, crazy, mean motherfucker to women at like a women's football seminar. Like he said a bunch of fucked up shit that you shouldn't say. Like he shouldn't even have a job. He has a job because he's Zach Taylor's buddy. Yeah. Like they're friends. That's like you being completely underqualified for a job, but I own a company and I'm just like, fuck it, dude, come on in. Like it's just so bad.
I just want to make this point too. We watched the Browns go 1-31. We watched the Dolphins the last 2 years just struggle, be pathetic. What'd they do? They blew it up. Okay? The Browns went and got Myles Garrett, and then they went and got Baker and Denzel Ward in the draft. You see what Miami did. Miami fucking was throwing away safety for Steelers on the tip of my tongue.
Fitzpatrick?
Not Fitzpatrick.
Minka Fitzpatrick.
Oh, it is Fitzpatrick. Minka Fitzpatrick, and then you just see him giving away valuable pieces to get all these draft picks, and the Miami Dolphins are now sitting at 6-4 a year later. Like it's not hard to see what you have to do. You get rid of anybody not named Joe Burrow and Jesse Bates, and you just fucking get draft picks for them. That's what you needed to do, and then build that entire team through free agency with young players and the draft. And you have the pieces there. You could be good next year. Well, but they failed to do it for the second year in a row.
Well, we say that every week. Like that's just, I chalk that up. That is what it is. It's done and over with. They could do it. They could. And a lot of this is what Coward said because I watched it, and usually I'm like, fuck Colin Coward, but he made a good point. He said you're gonna have probably the chance to draft Penny Sewell, which you should not fuck it up. He said you can get another solid offensive lineman down there and start to fix things, and your defense, it's free agency. Anything you want to fix on the defense?
The defense isn't bad.
Yeah,
terrible right now.
But anything you want to upgrade on defense, do it defensively. Draft linemen, and you can be good because when Burrow gets back, whenever that may be, I feel like they're gonna have a chance in most games.
Yeah, but we were starting to see it this year, though. They were playing with Burrow, and it just wasn't there. But I feel like it's because Zach Taylor. Bengals are going to do. The Bengals the Bengals are like the Browns in a bad way, and I say that because of this. When Cleveland lines up, they're running the fucking football. The Bengals are going to throw the football. You've got to mix it up. You got to.
Well, you know what saved the Browns, and the Bengals should and could do it. They went and got 2 tackles.
Well, what else did the Browns do? They went and got Coach Kevin Stefanski, who's right there for Coach of the Year.
Absolutely. I just remember the Cleveland, and obviously Freddie Kitchens was
terrible. He's I think
he won more games than Zach Taylor.
Yeah, he did. But I would say
he got 6 of them.
I think over the last 2 years he's won more games than Zach Taylor.
No, he did. He won 6.
Yeah, he won 6.
His 1 year. Taylor has won 4.
Yeah.
Wait.
3 or 4.
Yeah,
you guys
4.
have
4.
Okay,
2 this year, 2 last year.
So I don't know. Maybe they're right there by each other. But the point is you got to get rid of the guy, fucking driving the ship.
Wholesale, dude. Top to bottom. The entire organization has to go. Like, not the entire. Well, yeah, the entire organization.
You keep fucking Jesse Bates and you keep fucking Joe Burrow, man, and then you fucking figure the rest out.
Well, I'd keep Tyler Boyd.
I mean, the point is there's.
But yeah,
very
Burrow's
few.
the main piece on offense, and Jesse Bates is the best safety in the league.
He's up there. He's up there.
So going into the rest of this year, I don't give a fuck.
You want to lose, right?
Yeah, I want to lose. I mean, I'm going to take
because Penny Sewell is the guy you want.
I'm going to take my girlfriend
unless fucking
to the game.
Unless the Jets and Jags win one and Trevor Lawrence is sitting there, and then you pull the trigger.
That'd be weird.
That'd be a tough.
Hey man,
situation.
Burrow's going to be out for a year. Just play Lawrence. If he looks good, trade him. We can play roulette.
Figure
with
this shit out, man. We'll figure this shit out.
How can the Bengals organization not see this? It's like all right. Burrow looks to be the real deal. Like, I've got a Lamborghini, right?
Right.
I'm not going to let my fucking 16-year-old son that just got his license drive the motherfucker.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe they're just cheap on a different level. If I was the owner of the Cincinnati Bengals and I'm like, all right, we got it right with this kid. He looks good. He's fucking hurt. This coach is an idiot. He's losing the locker room. Like, all this shit. Like, the front office knows this is going on. They know these articles get out.
Oh, yeah.
They read them.
Yeah.
Mike Brown, once he learns how to use a computer, he'll probably read them.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm owning a franchise, I don't know how that you could look at that and be like, okay, he's getting all this love. He was in the Rookie of the Year running. Everybody, the media loves him. The fans love him. The gradings that he was having love him. All this shit. Why wouldn't you be like, okay, I've got it. This is my shot. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to step the fuck back. I'm going to go pay a general manager, not Duke Tobin, to act like the general manager, but he's the director of player personnel, and it's this family. They run this place like it's fucking Uncle Pappy's general store, dude, and it's a fucking billion-dollar franchise.
Right.
So if I was the owner, I'd be like, okay, who's the best GM that I could get? Who is the best GM that will take my money and come work for me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. And then I'm going to put my head together with that GM. I'm going to say, who is your head coach? Who do you want? Yeah. I'm giving you the control that you should have. You're the general manager, whoever that may be. Or is it a coach that is trusted enough to say, hey, you can be the coach and the general manager? There's a few guys like that.
Or like the Browns did. The Browns got their coach first and then put their coach with their GM. So they went and got Stefanski first,
right,
and then got Andrew Berry as a team.
Well, for the Bengals, though, I think it almost has to be in reverse because going to Cleveland, I think that everybody
there was a lot
knew,
of talent there already too.
Well, there was a lot of talent there, but I think everybody knew that the Browns were going to try to win. I don't think people know that in Cincinnati. And they're saying, well, you can't fire Taylor and expect to get a good coach because good coaches want stability. Well,
you didn't have Joe Burrow.
Coaches have, that's the thing. You've got Joe Burrow, you've got Jesse Bates, you've got a DJ Reader who looked good before you've got things that could attract somebody. I say you get the established, solid GM, and it doesn't have to be somebody that's built a Super Bowl team. You don't have to go get somebody that built up because most of those guys don't leave. But it could be even somebody that's thought of as like a young, upcoming, rising GM. Right? Mm-hmm. Somebody that people believe in because nobody believes in Mike Brown, Katie Brown, and Duke Tobin.
I think that Bengals' number one priority needs to be Eric Bieniemy. You need to try every fucking thing you can to land Eric Bieniemy.
That's if Bill Cowher doesn't answer.
Huh?
That's if Bill Cowher doesn't answer.
And I doubt that. Because our first instinct was Houston is going to get Eric Bieniemy because of Deshaun Watson, but what we're hearing is Romeo Crennel could possibly stay there because they're playing a lot better under Romeo. But so I think their priority one needs to be get Eric Bieniemy and just change that whole fucking culture. He comes from the Chiefs, from a great culture. He knows how to win. He's been hands in with fucking Patrick Mahomes. You have Joey B, and it would just be a fucking great relationship, man. I think Eric Bieniemy priority one for the Bengals.
If he would come.
He's got Joe Burrow there now. It ain't like you don't have nothing to show him.
That's true.
You used to not, but now you have Joe Burrow to show him.
But do I get worried there too? Because he's never called plays either. Neither has Taylor.
I doubt that. I doubt he has never called plays.
But then I think, okay, maybe I think Andy Reid's been the primary play caller pretty much his whole life. But then I started to think, okay, well, even if he hasn't called plays, he's been under Andy Reid for like 15 years.
Yeah,
not in an elevator with Sean McVay for an hour.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know what they'd be doing in an elevator for an hour. That's kind of weird.
But dude, he's been under him for years and years now, man.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I mean, yeah, I'm already at the point where I'd probably take just about anybody over Zach Taylor, just because it's just bad, man. You're losing your locker room already. I mean, the whole and I said it before, he was selling communication and accountability and all this shit, and then he completely miscommunicated with Andy Dalton when he could have got, and Andy Dalton was what he was, but he was also very important to that team. I think he may have deserved a little bit more respect on the way out the door. The communication with Carlos Dunlap was terrible. And dude, Carlos Dunlap's in fucking Seattle.
He's got the game
balling,
sack.
dude. Like playing damn good. I actually talked to him on Instagram the other day too. And I'm glad. I want him to do good.
Yeah.
It was ugly
it's like
on
you
the way
want to
out.
see. It's like you kind of wanted to see Whitworth do it. But see, now you want to see AJ Green do it. Like
I don't know if AJ Green can do it, dude.
I think he would go help a team with a really good quarterback.
But things like I want Dunlap to do good. It was messy. I don't like the way he got out, but I get it. Things like that are just gonna happen. But he is just it's worse than Marvin Lewis. Like, do I miss Marvin Lewis? Would I take Marvin Lewis back right now?
Yes.
I think I would.
Right now, yes.
Because the locker room with Marvin Lewis toward the end, I think it was flat. Maybe
but that was even after 16 years, though. He was able to keep the locker room under him.
This is like Taylor's trying to fire the team up, and guys are laughing
at him. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
Like, dude, just it's time to go. And there's a good amount of promise that you can see there. If you're looking at the Bengals, you've got Burrow, you've got T. Higgins, you've got Tyler Boyd, you've got Jesse Bates, you've got DJ Reader, you've got Logan Wilson, William Jackson, who he might not be back. But it's just, I don't know. You have so many things, and it's how can you sit there in their press box as an owner and not realize that and be like, I need to go all in. Yeah. These quarterback windows don't last forever.
No, because eventually you got to pay them.
You've got 4 more seasons now of Joe Burrow.
Right.
And if he's as good as he's supposed to be, he's going to want a fucking big paycheck.
Boatload of money.
And you have to give it to him. Yeah. So attack your window. But enough on that. Fuck Zach Taylor. Fuck Lou Anarumo.
Prayers up for Joey B, man.
It was weird. You're like, man, this kind of makes me sad. I didn't think you liked him.
No. Because I didn't. I just hated all the fucking comparisons 8 games into somebody's career. I just hated it. But no, I was fucking sad as shit. Not for Joe Burrow, and it sucks because it was the one time in my life, and I hate to say it like this, that I was like, man, I'm fucking kind of sad for being right, because I felt like this was going to happen.
Yeah,
I just felt like an injury was going to happen. Not only that, from my own personal devilish way standpoint, it'd been nice to see, the Bengals aren't going to beat the Dolphins, who's in the playoff running again, with the Browns without Joe Burrow. They're not going to beat the Dolphins. They're not going to beat the Baltimore. They don't stand a chance against the Baltimores without Joe Burrow.
We got to play Pittsburgh again.
Pittsburgh, it's just fuck. He would have helped, but also at the same time, I don't want to see anybody get injured. So, but changing subjects.
Tua got hurt in practice yesterday. I don't know the severity of it yet, but Tua got hurt in practice, they're saying.
He's been hurt. He hasn't looked good, man, on Tua real quick. He hasn't looked good, and he got benched for performance.
Who said that?
Yep.
I did.
Yep. So he hasn't looked good. I think the Dolphins might already be, and I know, like I always say, we're real short into their careers, but man, I bet you they're fucking wishing they had drafted Herbert. But let's switch this over, man. Another fucking rainy, bad weather game up in Cleveland.
I can't take that excuse anymore.
With wins, man. You don't have to excuse none. We're 7-3, baby.
2 offensive touchdowns in the last 3 games. Baker hasn't thrown a touchdown since October. Are you concerned? That's just what. Are you concerned?
No. No, I'm not.
That's rough.
I'm not concerned at all.
Tim asked me about that bet you guys made too. I don't know how that's looking. We'll have to look at the numbers.
Well, fuck, his fucking quarterbacks can't decide who's
they
in
can't
and
decide who's who.
When me and Tim made that bet, it was whose quarterback's going to be the best, but we voided it if one of them got hurt or one of them got benched. So Tim's got.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. There was a caveat. I'll have to look up. There was a post.
Yeah, so Tim's like fucking. He's got Tua one week. He's got Fitzmagic the next week. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, but as far as Baker goes, I'm not worried because of the weather, and I hate to use that as an excuse because
That's
winning.
like 3 weeks,
Dude. It's been terrible in Cleveland, but we're winning.
Yeah, I mean,
we're winning. We're 7-3 at this point. The bad news is Myles Garrett missed last week. He's on COVID. He's going to miss this week on COVID. Taki, who's coming on as a linebacker.
Had the pick 6 last week.
Yep, got the pick 6 last week. Is out now for
COVID. Another player this morning.
Big player.
We don't know who.
Another one this morning.
Yeah. Schefter tweeted out this morning. I sent it in our group chat.
Oh well, I didn't see it.
Or Twitter message.
So
let me see. I'm going to read the tweet verbatim. I am logged into.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Unfortunately, he said that Browns announced another player tested positive. The team closed its facility and will be working remotely this morning. That was 9:44 this morning.
See, this has all an upset here for a Jags win here, man. No Myles Garrett, no Taki. Denzel Ward did something to his calf at the end of that game there. I don't know exactly what, but it's looking like he might be IR'd for 3 weeks.
Oh,
so
he's been playing good,
Denzel
too.
Ward out. So everybody Ronnie Harrison tweaked his knee. He could possibly be out. I mean, it's just super bad timing for the Browns. It kind of has upset written all over it unless the Browns can really run the ball at will.
It's still just the Jags.
It doesn't matter, man. Injuries eventually add up when you don't have no depth behind it.
No, that's very true.
But 7-3, with all this bullshit that's been going on in Cleveland, like this is why I think Coach Stefanski was such a great hire. He's able to keep the team, on the same path and the same vision. You know what I mean?
They're not laughing at him when he gives a post game speech.
No, they're actually fucking amping it up.
Must be nice.
But so they Carson Wentz looks bad. The Browns do look genius for trading that pick and not sticking with Carson Wentz.
Yeah, it looked for like 1 year, like shit, we did it again. But now it's like,
and then that knee injury happened. That knee injury happened, man, and quarterbacks handle knee injuries different. But yeah, 7-3, right in the hunt. And then you had Vegas lose to the Chiefs on a fucking possession where goddamn Pat Mahomes looks like God.
Dude, everybody, even the Raiders, expected it.
Yeah.
Like, nobody was shocked.
Yeah, everyone
the
expected
announcers
that.
weren't like, oh, my God. They were just like, oh, touchdown. Okay.
Yeah. The Dolphins lose a big one to the Broncos, which I think is going to keep them out of the playoffs. And then you have who was the other team that? Oh, you had the Ravens losing to Tennessee.
It was like a perfect weekend for a Browns fan.
Yeah. Well, it was actually.
Won.
What the Browns need now is the Browns need the Titans to beat the Colts because the Browns have the tiebreaker over the Colts.
That might be tough.
Yeah,
the Colts look good.
Yeah, they do, and that's a big that looks like a great win for the Browns right now, man.
Yeah, it really does.
Because they beat them pretty handily too.
It could look like a good win for Zach Taylor, who had a 21-point fucking lead against him.
Yeah, but the Browns are doing what they got to do. The only thing is COVID is starting to really impact us.
It's starting to impact a lot of teams, man.
I think we're going to end up with that fucking extra week of football to where 8 teams get in. And if that's the case, I think, the Browns are definitely going to get in. It's just getting past this fucking COVID bullshit.
And that took away the best game of today by far. The Baltimore and Pittsburgh game that was supposed to be up tonight. That's over with now, which sucks. Because, Dallas and Washington,
Right.
Detroit and Houston,
Right.
But, man, wrapping it up with that Baltimore and Pittsburgh game would have been damn good. But, unfortunately, that is over with. And it is now 11 a.m. If you're hearing this before noon somehow, if we get it up, Pick'em is at $290 right now. We're trying to fill it out in the next hour. I just put a little post out. So we are going to stay on top of that. Side note, not much to cover in the NBA, but the Lakers just got everybody good, and we're about to fuck the whole league up. And AD's not signing his contract because he's waiting to see what Giannis does because he's about to come too. I don't know. Do you have anything else? Did we cover everything?
Let's talk real quick, man. Indiana, great fucking.
Yeah. Ohio State
and Indiana, great game. Buckeyes jumped out early, big lead here. But man,
I'll tell you one thing.
People were like, "Oh, it's Indiana." The Buckeyes didn't look good. Wait, Indiana low key looks really good this year, offensively and defensively. They have some nasty fucking defensive linemen. The secondary really isn't bad, and the offense is nice too. They got some big time receivers that are going to be playing on Sundays. So Ohio State's just got to keep it rolling. You did say that it looks like maybe their game against Illinois is in jeopardy. Hopefully not. That would suck. At this point, Big Ten teams are probably trying to keep Ohio State out by fucking doing this COVID shit, if you ask me. But we'll see.
Hardball, dude, he's gonna infect the water cooler. It took Michigan 3 overtimes to beat Rutgers.
Yeah, Michigan looks terrible, man.
Dude,
they quit on him.
Cade McNamara is a fucking boss. Fuck Joe Milton. Yeah. We got a new quarterback. We're beating Ohio State by 30.
Fuck, I've heard that before.
Yep. I said this the other day. I got some family in town. We were over watching the Bucks game. They're from Tampa. And they were like, "Oh," I was like, "Dude, I don't know. I just don't know if I can care." I'm finding it harder for me to care about football, and I don't like that because I love football. But it just like shit just keeps happening. And I'm just like, yeah, that sounds about right. Like, who gives a fuck? What's the matter? And that's just depressing, man. These teams are really fucking taking a toll on me.
Yeah,
I'm in the locker room today as a broken man. But on the Ohio State point, if they miss this game against Illinois because of COVID. And the last 2 go as they should. That's 6 games. You have to have 6 games to qualify to go to the Big Ten championship.
Right.
So does Harbaugh do like psychological warfare and do a COVID outbreak just to fuck him and keep him out of the playoffs? Since he can't beat him to do it, maybe he just uses this as like psychological warfare.
Right.
And it's just like, I can't beat them to get him out. So I'm going to give everybody COVID.
Yeah, he probably will.
What, dude, he can't be coaching football next year, right?
I wouldn't think. He's probably going to go from Michigan to Bengals.
I feel like, dude, Harbaugh's just broken.
He can't coach quarterbacks like they say he can.
Not even that. It's just like the and I've said it before, the Michigan State fumble in 2015 on the punt, and then the Ohio State game where JT was short and we were robbed, broke that man.
Yeah.
That was 4 years ago today. Actually, based on my Facebook memories, the overtime game 2016, I fucking started throwing shit at Ziggy's and got thrown out and then came back in. So yeah, it's just gonna be a fucking shit show for me for the rest of football season. I can't wait.
You gotta pray for these losses, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, I want
you guys to watch the Bengals. They're gonna win like 2 or 3 more games.
I know, and
just be in a position where it's like,
if you watch the Bengals game Sunday, I am trying to get on TV. I'm going to wear my Fire Zach Taylor hoodie. I'm sitting like as close to the field as you can with COVID. Right, these tickets were dirt cheap. I don't really want to go now, but I'm going to go. Look out for the Fire Zach Taylor hoodie. I'm going to try to get on TV, and then I'm going to turn around real quick and flash the back with our logo. I'm going to try to get us some free advertisement.
There we go.
Maybe I'll put out some stickers and shit. Maybe I should just take a bunch of shirts and try to sell them.
There you go. Yeah.
So we're going to
I would take a bunch of Fire Zach Taylor shirts because that would sell.
Yeah, they probably would. I got to see if I can get them here by Sunday. So, yeah, we send those out and we get them printed. And if you want a free Locker Room Talk uncut shirt, it's going to be a Black Friday special. All right. I want you to go back and listen to this episode and tell me what my warm-up plate was going to be, all consisted of from what you said, because it was wrong. You said, you're just going to have a whole plate of that. Anybody that listens back tells me that I'll send you a free shirt.
There we go. Free shit to give out on Thanksgiving.
And it's delicious.
All right, man. I think that's all we got for today.
Hey, everybody, if you're listening to this driving to and from Thanksgiving today, I hope you enjoy your Thanksgiving. We are very thankful for all of you.
Yeah, I hope you guys are with your family and enjoying it and not fucking locked in your house, just your family.
Well,
man.
that's what I was going to
really
say.
Enjoy it.
I hope you enjoy it however you please, however you feel comfortable, and not how the fucking government tells you to do it, all right?
If you would rather sit at home by yourself, that's okay.
Yeah, but don't skip out because you think DeWine's going to look in. All right. We want everybody to enjoy it. We are thankful for you guys listening and participating and on our Facebook pages and Twitter and all that stuff and interacting with us. We appreciate all of you guys. We will be back in here next week giving you all the breakdown of everything that happened. I will have a live report from the pandemic edition of Paul Brown Stadium. That place is just a fucking big concrete block. It's kind of ugly. It's going to be pretty dim, folks. So we will be back in here next week. Thank you for tuning in. Locker Room Talk Uncut.